What is going on, guys? It is Bound Corrupt or Corrupt Studios here, bringing you back another cringe fest video. Today we have what seems like a normal teacher threatening to sue her students because she's gay. Let's hop right into the video.
What type of relationship do you have with your students?
I really care that we accomplish whatever we're set out to do, but I'm also the first teacher to volunteer to get a pie to the face or an egg cracked on my head, like whatever it is to reward students. One of the highlights of my job is the fact that I probably laugh cry like at least once a day, because teenagers are funny, and if you let them be funny, they're really fun.
Okay, to start off this video, like I said, she is a normal sounding teacher. You know, she has fun with her students, she enjoys teaching, she enjoys doing what she's doing. We can tell she's a good teacher because she allows students freedom from what she's saying. You know, letting them laugh and joke around in class for a little, just a little bit. But let's just stop at this screenshot here. I can't tell if this is like sparkling water or sparkling cider. Maybe it's a glass of champagne, because teaching is a hard job, and the way she looks, I would need a glass of champagne too if I look like that.
My name is Amy Estes. I'm an 8th grade English teacher. I've been teaching for about 12 years now. The joy of knowing that I've impacted a student or had a good day in the classroom is really indescribable, because while education does not necessarily pay well, what it does pay is knowing that you've had a chance to impact future generations.
You know, she is right. Teaching does not pay well. She's been teaching for 12 years, so I classify that as a veteran teacher. I feel very bad for her because she is teaching 8th graders, and those are like the kids just before high school, and some of those kids, you know, even as an adult, you just want to punch them in the face sometimes. I don't even trust my own generation growing up to run this country, let alone a bunch of the 8th graders that are probably even worse than people that are my age.
My goal is always to really understand where a student's coming from as a person, not just a test score or a grade. My story begins at the start of the 2017-2018 school year. I had several students approach me privately out of concern to let me know that a former student of mine who was following me on Instagram because they wanted to keep in touch with me had taken a photo of me and my partner and posted it to her Instagram and let my current students know that I was gay.
First mistake, allowing your ex-students to follow your Instagram. I don't know anybody that would like to keep in touch with any of their former teachers. I know for a fact I hated every single teacher I've ever had in my life. And if I had a teacher that looked like this, quite frankly, I wouldn't want to keep in touch with her. I'd try to go to the other side of the planet to get away from her, but really I'd be living near her ass crack at that point.
Prior to that, I had never discussed my sexuality in the classroom intentionally, because I know that I teach in a very conservative climate, and it wasn't something that I felt I needed to share right off the bat with students.
She is right. She does not need to express her sexuality to students, especially those at an 8th grade level, because they really don't know, and they really don't care. They're going to make fun of you if you're gay. They will, no matter who you are. If you're gay, an 8th grader somewhere will make fun of you. We should put her into the Call of Duty, game chat for 25 minutes. Nobody will know she's gay, but she will be called gay. She will also be called fat, and to be told to make a sandwich. That's just how children are these days. If you can't deal with it, definitely you shouldn't be a teacher.
As the year progressed, students continued to approach me to let me know that this was really a hot topic on the internet, it was a hot topic on campus, and people were continuing to discuss it. I went to my administration multiple times and let them know that I was concerned about this and I felt like things were getting out of hand. And the initial response was that this was drama, was the word that was used, and that it would die down. And to be fair, I hoped so too. Unfortunately, that's not what occurred.
Obviously, that's not what occurred. When a student finds out their teacher is gay, they will not stop until they are out of that class. Guaranteed. Administration has always sucked in schools. Every school I went to, administration sucked. I'm pretty sure it's the same way throughout the entire country. No administration really does give a shit. They are there to make their money, and that's basically what administration does.
During that school year, I was also pursuing my Master of Arts degree. I had to maintain an online YouTube channel where I responded and reflected on things that I'd read or activities I'd completed. One night, I noticed that a flood of students started to follow me on that account, and then I received a comment that said, "Don't be stupid, be a smarty. You can join the Nazi party, now accepting dykes."
Okay, that's kind of fucked up. Gotta give bonus points for the rhyming, though. Rhyming was on point.
I immediately took a screenshot and sent it to my administration and asked them to sit down with me. It took my administration a full month to meet with me, and upon meeting together, the decision was made that I should create a lesson about tolerance to present it to my class. I did that immediately, sent it off to them, and unfortunately they decided that they didn't like the direction of the lesson, and I was told that it would occur later on once someone else had a chance to review it.
Yes, create a lesson about tolerance and present it to your class because somebody made a comment on a YouTube channel video. If that was the case, every single YouTube comment section would be getting a lesson taught about tolerance. Maybe she should go into a Call of Duty game chat and teach about tolerance because these kids these days are ruthless.
I had started to experience some severe depression and even more severe anxiety about being in class because I felt like I didn't know what was being said about me or what was being done, and I also felt like I wasn't being supported or kept safe the way that I believe I deserved to.
So now she's depressed and anxious to go into a classroom full of, 13-year-olds. I'm sorry, honey, but I heard SeaWorld is hiring. Maybe you and Shamu from my other video should go back to SeaWorld and go to work. Hop back in those waters and start jumping around like the whale you are. Because these kids are not going to let off. Obviously, administration is not going to do shit. Deal with it or quit.
After winter break, I asked my students to create their own utopia. And during a presentation, one of my students made some disparaging comments about gay marriage, which elicited quite a response from my students. A lot of excitement and looking at me and definitely awaiting a reaction. After that, upon reviewing the students' written work, I noticed that some more derogatory comments were used about gay people in her work. And I brought that again to the attention of my administration, and my administrators felt like the best course of action there was simply a teachable moment.
Okay, so you asked students to make a utopia of what they want. That is open mind for open opinions. Yes, obviously, some students may have been targeting you, but like you said earlier, you're in a conservative area. You can't really blame them for what they believe in after you telling them exactly what to do. Yes, the students shouldn't have done this, but at the same time, they're 13, 14 years old.
I contacted my union at that point. From there, it escalated to me getting a regional rep involved from my union, who eventually hired me a lawyer.
Now she's getting a lawyer involved because of her students making gay jokes. What the fuck kind of world do we live in?
I haven't been in the classroom since January, and I would say that there are two things that I miss the most. First and foremost, I really miss my colleagues. I'm lucky to work with some incredible educators. In terms of students, I'm very sad that I didn't get to read Fahrenheit 451 with them or be there for their 8th grade graduation. It was really challenging for me to miss out on both of those things.
She's mostly upset at not being able to be reading a book with her students and watching them graduate. But she was just talking about being upset and anxious because they were making jokes about her being gay. I don't know about you, but I need my calculator because this shit just ain't adding up.
I don't feel frustration or anger towards students. I think that as teenagers, we're always, they're growing and they're changing and they're formulating their own opinions. The onus really lies on the adults in the system to do better, and that's what I feel most disappointed in. I don't even feel anger towards the adults in the situation. I think that, my ultimate hope is that everyone learns and grows so that we understand that the next time a situation like this occurs, we create a culture where it just isn't accepted and doesn't happen again.
Should she really be suing her students? Hell no. Like, what is that gonna teach the students? That's just gonna teach them to hate you more, and they're gonna continue to make jokes, no matter what you say or what you do. People these days, god damn. It's like I'm watching BuzzFeed videos all over again.